Okay, hi everyone, Christina here.
Hello, it's Jennifer.
We're going to do a question and answer video for you guys. A few days ago, or I guess it was last week, I posted on Facebook to have you guys leave comments and ask questions. So we're going to answer your questions now. And since I'm in Utah and Jennifer's in Ohio, we're doing a little video chat instead of being in the same room. So hopefully that works out well. So say hi, Jennifer.
Hello, I wish we were together.
Me too. But soon, right? Soon. Okay.
Very soon, very soon.
Okay, so I've got the questions on my computer screen over here, so I'm going to turn them on so you guys can see them. Hopefully this works. Okay. All right, do you see the questions, Jennifer?
I do.
Okay. So Linda asks, in card making, what new trends do you think are waiting around the corner? What new developments do you think will be the next big thing? Okay. Go.
Me?
Sure.
Well, this is the hardest question of all of them because I'm not one that really pays much attention to the trends. Like sometimes I jump on them or sometimes I kind of let them pass. Like I never jumped on the washi tape trend. I never, I'm kind of on the sequin trend a little bit, but I tend to, I don't know, not pay much attention to them. So I haven't really even thought about what's on the horizon for 2015. I'm hoping it's more die cuts and more stencils, or dies and stencils, because I think the sky is the limit with the techniques with those. To combine them with our stamps, I say bring it on.
Totally. I'm sort of the same answer that I don't really know for sure. I feel like I sort of pick up on the trend a little bit after it's already going.
Yeah.
Kind of like with all the sequins and my shaker cards, I'm kind of slightly one step behind. But I'm with you. I do like just new products and things like that. I like seeing how companies take dies and stamps and make them work together in creative ways. So that's always good. And I would love to see some sort of, and this is just my wish list thing, I would love to see something that helps with shaker cards, like the actual foam. I think you showed like fun foam in a video recently, and that was lovely. So I don't know. I've only done one shaker card. I really can't complain.
Well,
So
what's funny is that shaker cards have been around for a long time. Like I did them a long time ago. So when the trend started coming with people doing shaker cards, I'm like, I don't want to do this again. But then once I started seeing all the cute sequins and a lot of the die cuts, when I realized that a lot of the dies that we have now are great for shaker cards, that's kind of what got.
oh no, you paused. That's okay. I think I get your idea what you were going for. Yeah, all the dyes and all the stuff that's coming out is amazing. I really think the
Me.
shaker trend came about because everyone bought all those dang sequins. I had nothing to do with them. So they're like, what can we do with these sequins? And so that's how they started doing shaker cards again. So are you on pause now? I have no idea. Are you
And
there?
now I see you now. Aw.
Okay. All right. You like totally paused up and you were like mid sentence. You were all
Yeah,
I
you
know what
paused
you're
on
saying.
me too, so I don't know.
This is new to us, you guys. Bear with us. Hopefully it will work. Okay, should we go to the next question?
Sure.
Okay, swap over. I'm going to scroll down. How do you store enamel dots and rhinestones? You want to go first? I think
I
we
have this I have
store
this
them
really
together.
fancy system. It's a drawer that I pull out and I throw them all in and then I close it.
That you just described mine. I do
Yep.
keep them in their original packaging though, because I don't want all the rhinestones that are like pre-sticky, like they have adhesive on them. I don't want them like sticking to everything, so I keep them in their original packaging. Do you do
Well,
that?
I don't have them all thrown in. That's a complete lie. Anything that is small enough that I can stand on its side so I can kind of fish through them. I have them all on their side. And then the ones I use the most, I have kind of sitting on their own so I can find them. But I'll take a picture and put it on Instagram, but it's nothing fancy. I don't think there's really a great system because there are so many different kinds and so many different size packages.
For
So
sure.
a drawer works for me.
I have a drawer. I don't even stand them up. I just throw them in. In fact,
Yeah.
one of these back here, one of these drawers back here. I just throw them in. I don't even organize them at all. So.
Well, mine's in the same kind of drawer, so it
Sweet.
works.
Okay, let's get another question. Getting faster at this. Okay. Melissa asks, what stamping or card making technique from your early days of creating is one you find yourself still using frequently? I really think the first real technique that I learned was heat embossing, and I use that on almost every single card because I can't stand not having like a stark white when I stamp words. So in order to get that, you really do have to emboss. Sometimes you can't. You have to use like a white StazOn or a white ink, pigment ink. But for the most part, I do heat embossing almost every card. What about you?
That's a good one. I think one product that I know that I've been using since the beginning is the Hero Art Shadow Inks, because those have been out forever. So I guess layering with those, stamping the light ink with the darker ink on top, I would say that's something that I've been doing since the beginning. But I don't know that I've been stamping as long as you. I've only been stamping maybe 12 years.
Yes. Yeah, I started stamping in 2005. You've been stamping longer than me.
It's because you're young. I'm old.
No, it's because I refused to do anything crafting related until I graduated from college and was hired to stamp it up. That's why.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Next question. Sherry asks, how do you decide what coloring medium to use? Color pencil, Copics, watercolor, distress markers, etc. I would say previous to about a couple months ago, I was just like, whatever looks good. There was no rhyme or reason. It was just, oh, hey, I want to use some Copics today. But like over the last couple months, I started not really scheduling, but giving myself an idea of what type of video I want to do. And so now I'll say like, oh yeah, like Color Wednesday on December 5th. No, that's actually Friday, but the Wednesday 3 weeks from now, I'm going to use Copics. And I'll say, okay, if I've used Copics that week, I should probably use Distress Inks the following week. So it gives me an idea of what I'm going to do, but then I decide what the card is going to be after that. That's all the scheduling or all the color medium determination that I do.
Okay. Just so you know, you totally cut out for that whole answer.
Oh no.
So I have no idea what your answer was. So I may repeat you. I don't know.
Okay.
But did you answer it completely?
Yeah, I just said that I schedule it a little bit. Like on my calendar, I'll say I'm doing Copics one week, and then I'll make sure I do Distress Inks the next. Something like that.
You're better at planning your blog than I am. I kind of let the stamp speak for what would look best. If it's kind of like a artsy outline stamp set, then I'll go with maybe watercolor because I think it would work with it better. If it's a person or a critter, I want it to be like colored really well, I'll go with Copics. I shouldn't say really well. That it's solid, I'll go with Copics. So I think it just depends. I let the product or the stamp set dictate how I'm going to color. And then sometimes I go through phases, and all I want to use is my Tombow markers and my Wink of Stella, and so I do. I don't know.
I do sort of the same, but it's slightly in reverse. Like I say, I want to use Copics. Now let's find a stamp set that works well with Copics. So
there you go.
Okay, next question. Julie asks, if you were going to purchase one brand of dye ink and one brand of pigment ink, which brands would you choose for stamping? Thanks. All right, you are the inking queen. Do you want to answer this one?
Okay. I don't have an answer. Actually, I do have an answer, but it's not what you want to hear. I wouldn't go for one brand. I would pick what type of ink you want, then pick the colors you want from there. So say you want a good pigment ink. I would check out Mama Elephant and Avriel and just grab the colors that you like. I don't think that there's any reason to just stick to one brand. There's good colors in both lines, so I would just pick what colors you like. And then if for dye inks, like I like the Simon Says Stamp Hero Arts W+9. They're all the same ink, so just pick the colors you like. But then I also think you need to have distress inks because those are technique friendly. I don't use them for stamping, but I use them a ton for backgrounds and things like that. So that's kind of like
little mini ones, the itty bitty stamp pads. I love those. That was the best thing Tim ever did, was the mini distressing pads. Oh no, you paused. I cut you off and then it paused. Sorry, Jennifer. Come back to us. Can you hear me? Come back. Okay, so I hope I didn't completely cut her off. Who knows if this is recording? Hey guys.
Hi.
Are you there?
I don't know what's going on.
We must have a bad connection or
I
something.
think we do.
No, we have a good connection. Our computers have a bad connection.
Should we keep trucking?
Yeah, let's keep going. All right, let's go on to the next question, which is from Katie. You both make a ton of cards. Do you ever feel yourself getting burnt out? How do you combat it and get re-energized? I think we've answered this in previous Q&A videos, but it's obviously a question that plagues a lot of you, so we're going to go ahead and answer it again. I sort of schedule time to work. Sometimes not really. I'll have it in the back of my mind, okay, I need to make some cards today, and I kind of think about them for a while, and then I'll eventually get to it. It's different because it's my job. If it was just a hobby or something that I would do on the weekends when I have a little bit of time, I think it would be different. If I am physically tired, I'm also creatively and mentally tired. And so I've discovered that if I am exhausted, I can't even do cards at all anyway. So, but I don't know if that was really the question. How do I get re-energized? I look at blogs. I look at magazines. Pinterest. Pinterest is good. I
text with me.
What was that?
You text with me.
I do. We do text back and forth, and I'll send her a picture of a card and say, how ugly is this, 1 to 10? Not really.
No.
But, yeah, I guess that's how I combat being kind of burnt out. I don't let myself go too long without creating. When I've gone too long without creating or doing something creative, it's really hard to get back into the mode. So even if I'm not making cards, I like to sketch or I like to do calligraphy or just something to keep those creative juices flowing. Even if it's just reading blogs online but you're not creating yourself, I think keeping yourself in that mode is always a really good idea. What about you? Hello? Are you there? The connection! Jennifer! Come back! Are you there? All right, well, I'll get the next question ready while you do that.
Are you there? Yeah. I wanted to show. I was going to take a picture of you frozen because you were like this. It was nice.
I kept saying, Jennifer, are you there? I have no idea if it records. I don't know who it records. If it records me or if it records you when there's this pause. I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, did you answer the question about being re-energized and stuff?
No. No, I was watching you like this. For me, it's my job too, so I get burnout quite a bit, as anybody does with their job. Not burnout like I don't enjoy it anymore, but I get stuck a lot. Like I'm currently very stuck. But I find the best way for me to get re-energized is to go back and look at cards that I've made a long time ago and kind of lift myself, like do the same card in a little bit different way, and that's usually the kickstart that I need to get going. Smart. So I'll go back to an old blog card. If you don't have a blog, just take a quick picture with your phone or something, and so that you can have all the cards that you've ever made, a picture of them, so you can go back and reference them if you ever get stuck. I find that helps me.
Totally. Okay, new question. Amy asks, if someone wanted to design stamps, how would they go about doing that? Okay. This is a hard question to answer because I I do design stamps for Simon Says Stamp. I don't know if you're coming at it from the angle that you just want to design some custom stamps for yourself, or if you want to start your own stamp line. I don't know. I think if you're just going to design ones for yourself, I say keep it simple, you know, like just design some word stamps or something in Word and then upload them to simonstamps.com. I had a blog post on that a while ago, or a YouTube video about doing custom stamps, so you might do that. If you're talking about starting your own line, I think that unfortunately is a much bigger question that would be just for this one video. Above all, I would say practice drawing and sketching and getting your drawing skills up like as far up as you can, because you are going to have to illustrate your stamps, and you can't just use like stuff you find online. You have to be able to draw yourself. So I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that entirely. What about you? Do you have an answer for that?
No, because I don't design product and I don't have any interest. I don't think I have the talent to do it. I don't have the illustration, you know, I'm not an illustrator. I like to play with product, so I've never really had a desire to design. Instead, I'll play with things that you design.
Perfect.
Everybody emails me and says, why don't you have a product line? When are you going to do stamps? It's just something that I don't have any interest in doing, and I don't know. I like to play with stuff instead.
Totally.
I'm too busy designing my kids. You know?
There you go.
Raising them is just my design project, all in a so.
Well, I would say, to answer this question more directly, most stamp manufacturers need to have your artwork in vector form, which means you need to use Adobe Illustrator or a program that's similar to that. So if you do want to design your own stamps, you need to get Adobe Illustrator, become comfortable in it, be able to use that program very efficiently and effectively, and that's probably a good start. There we go. Okay, so next question. All right, we've got to scroll down here. Love your Q&A videos. How do you ensure you have new content for your blog? Do you schedule the types of projects or products? Do you just play? What is your process? All right, Jennifer, go for it.
I don't.
Oh no, it paused again. Okay, I'll talk just in case she's not. I do schedule a little bit, like I said previously. I do like to have an idea of what I'm doing. This worked really well during the holiday card series because I picked out holiday products I loved, and then I said, okay, I want to make sure I use this Mama Elephant stamp set on this day, something like that. So that really helps. Sometimes I just play, and those turn into like extra videos. So, are you back?
I'm back.
Okay. All right.
So are you moving when you talk on your screen?
What was what?
When I'm frozen, are you still moving?
Yeah. When I freeze, is your video still moving?
I don't know. I can't tell. It's too small. I haven't looked. But it must be my connection, but I've got... Anyways, whatever.
Google. I mean, Google, we love you. Google is listening. Well, I sort of answered, but do you want to answer again? Because I didn't hear your answer.
Do I schedule stuff? Although this is my job, it's my second job, so my family and kids are first because I'm a stay-at-home mom. And that life is so scheduled that my card-making job just kind of fits in when it can. So I don't schedule. That's why I don't like have a regular post schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever, because I just do it when I can. But as far as specific blog post topics, I just every once I'll have like an idea of something that I want to do, and I'll write it down in my planner, and I have a list in my planner. And whenever I have a chance to do blog post or have a new product I want to use, I'll go look at that list, and that's what I do. So that's about as much planning as I do. The rest of my life is very planned.
Cool. Okay, so next question. Katina, I think that's how you say your name. With all the supplies you have, do you ever find it hard to figure out what to do? I see all this stuff I want, but then I'm stuck sitting and looking at it and not using it. I think this is also a question we've answered before, but I think it plagues every crafter. There's so much more that you want to do than you have time to do, and when you finally have the time to do it, you're not in the mood to do it. I think that's true for a lot of people. I think Jennifer's paused, so I will answer this question really quickly. In fact, I know Jennifer's answer. She would say that when she buys new products, she always, like, let's say you're looking at it online, you're looking at the stamp set, do I want to buy it? Then Jennifer would say, write down like 5 different things you could do with that stamp set, and then you have a plan for when you get that stamp set. Did I answer right? Are you back now?
I'm back now.
Is that the correct answer?
I think so. In theory, that's what I do.
Sometimes it's just cute, and you just want to get it.
Yeah, and then I have a drawer where I put all my new stamps, so that when I want to go create, I can flip through and find my new ones. And then once those start getting old, even if I haven't used them, I'll put them away, and new ones go in. So
that's smart. I do something similar. I do keep, like, you guys can't see it, but behind me, I have like a million boxes. I've strategically moved everything to the center of the room, so it's behind me. Jennifer knows this. My room's a mess. So I keep things in boxes right behind me, and so if I have not used it, it is not put away yet. So I do something similar, but it's not as organized or as pretty.
Hey, whatever works for you.
Okay, on to the next question. All right, scroll down. How do you come up with different layouts for cards for holidays and Christmas so that it doesn't look like everyone is getting the same card? I think giving the same card's okay. I mean, if you want to do like duplicates of a card, I think that's totally cool. For me, I end up doing so many holiday cards since I start in like October, September, that I never have to send the same card. So I do have, I have a stash by the time it's time to send Christmas cards. But as far as making sure everything looks different, start your cards early and really give yourself the challenge to maybe try out different techniques that you see online, like maybe do something from Jennifer's YouTube channel and then do something from mine, or something from Laura Basson's, or Laura Basson, sorry. I've since learned that it's Laura, not Laura. From Laura Basson. Yeah, just try a bunch of things online. That's one way you can get a bunch of different cards. What about you, Jennifer?
The cards that I send out, like my family cards, I send out about 200, and they're all the same. I do a photo card with something stamped, something handmade on it, but they're all the same. The cards that you see me making online are cards that I send in the holiday season. So like today I'm mailing Christina a card, and it's a Christmas card. Yay! But it's not my official Christmas card. It's just a kind of thinking of you during the holidays kind of card, because I send a lot of cards out. So my official family one is mass-produced and always has a photo.
Awesome. All right, next question. Sue asks, I would like to know what kind of camera or device that you use to record your videos, as I've been making cards for some time now and would love to start doing videos as to share with others. Jennifer, do you know what camera you use? Maybe? It paused. I think that's the problem. When I switch back from my screen, that's when the video pauses. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and answer what I would say while Jennifer's video comes back. I started out with like just a regular like point and shoot camera that had a video mode on it. I think that's definitely doable. You could also use your smartphone. iPhones have awesome video cameras. I think you could also use that. As for what I use now, I use this big fancy schmancy camera that has all these settings that I don't even touch, but it has awesome video quality. So I would recommend any of the Canon Vixia line. That's kind of what I've been using since the beginning. And even the camera I have now is just a stepped-up version of the Vixia camcorders. So I would recommend any of those. Jennifer, now that you're back, what do you use?
I use the Vixia, the one you told me to get. It's not as jazzed up as yours, but I don't know. I don't have any problems with it. But I will tell you that there are some big card maker, video makers out there who use iPhones. I'm not going to say who it is, but I know people do, and you never know. So the quality is great. So if you have a phone with a camera, you can try that. I don't think you really need a super expensive fancy one because you're not shooting from far away. You know, it's not like, and you're not doing crazy sound stuff. So I really don't think you have to have a super expensive one. I just think you need to get a current one. You know, the technology improves. So, you know, I don't think any one particular, but I agree with the Canon ones. Mine works great. So.
For sure. I think mostly what you need to worry about beyond the camera is how you're going to stabilize the camera above your work surface, or how it's going to be, you know, on a tripod, or if it's going to be like mine's, like a monopod attached to a shelf that's above my desk. I have this like clip that I use sometimes when I'm just doing on-the-go stuff. It's this clip that clamps onto like a shelf, and then it has this big bar that comes out, and then it's got a little thing on the end that you can put your phone in. So I've used that a couple times. I posted a video on Facebook this weekend showing an album that I was working on. That was filmed on my iPhone, just with that little clampy deal. So when I'm just doing something quick, I'll use my phone for that. So think about how you're going to mount it above your work surface too. That's always a good idea. Okay, I think we've got 2 more questions. Here's the second to last one. Billy asks, should a person order ink refills with every new stamp pad color they get? I don't have the budget or space or actual need for lots and lots of different ink pad colors, though I'd like to have every new one that comes out. But I wonder if colors change in the stamping world like they do in fashion and home decor, and would I be smarter just investing in a range of new ink pads from time to time and not worry about the refills? This is a question for Jennifer because you have so many ink pad colors.
I am a firm believer in not getting the refills, except for distress inks. I think distress inks you need the refills because you do a lot of techniques where you like take the ink pad direct to paper, and so to refill it is good. And also, the distress ink refills you can use on their own for fun techniques. So, except for distress inks, I don't think it's worth it to get the refills.
Unless it's an ink color you really use, right? Like Memento or StazOn, things like that.
Well, StazOn, you can sometimes like StazOn comes with a reinker, so that makes sense. Like the white StazOn comes with a reinker because it needs to be reinked often. But like, for example, Hero Art's black dye ink and Hero Art's soft pool shadow ink, I've used those forever, and I think I've been doing this maybe 12 years, and I think I've replaced them twice. So, in fact, I think my black ink pad, my original one, I just replaced a few months ago. So, I don't find, unless you're leaving your ink pads open while you're creating, I think that if you get a good quality ink, they'll last you a long time. Now, every ink is different, of course. These newer pigment inks, like from Mama Elephant and Avery Elle, I don't know how long they're going to last because I haven't had them that long. But I say just get the ink pads, and if you find you need a reinker, get it later on. And cross your fingers that it'll be available.
Totally. The only reinkers I use are my black StazOn, because I've had the same black StazOn pad for going on 10 years, so I just have the reinker because, especially if you're stamping an outline image, you really want it to be nice and juicy and clear when it stamps. So I've used StazOn, and I've used Memento Tuxedo Black refill. And
I found those dry out quicker.
I think they do, because I think they've got some sort of more solvent in them or something. I don't know. I don't know the science of it. But the other one I also do every once in a while is Versamark. Most of the time my pad gets all gross and icky before I ever need to have it refilled, so I have to buy a new pad anyway. But there have been a couple times when I've accidentally left it open or it's not closed all the way, and so I want my Versamark pad really juicy, so I will put the reinker on it. But just those 3 basically. I have never needed a refill that's a color ever. So, okay, we have the very last question, and it is from Justine. If someone wants to become a successful blogger, what are the 3 things necessary for a card making blog? How often should one post? Can one post too often? This is Jennifer's favorite question. It's hard to answer. That's why I'm teasing her, because we were both talking before we started filming that this is a hard one to answer.
Actually, I think it's pretty easy to answer. I think you need to do what works for you. when you're forcing yourself to post every day, it's not going to work. You know, anytime you're forcing yourself to do something you don't enjoy or you feel like you're getting burnt out, it's not going to work for you. So I don't think you should post every day, but for some people, maybe they have the time to do that, and that works. But most people I know who have become successful in this industry don't post every day. But it all depends on you. I'm a firm believer that if you want to make a career of this crafting thing or blogging or whatever, just do your thing. Don't try too hard to be somebody else, or don't try too hard to do what you think people want. Do your thing. If it's meant to happen, it will.
Totally. And I would agree with everything you said. I always laugh when people say, you do you, because I think it sounds so corny, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay true to who you are and make it fun, do something you love. It's hard to pinpoint what makes someone successful, especially, you know, if you're talking to me, Jennifer, we're like, well, we just sort of it just happened. It was very natural and organic, and we didn't push it. We didn't, well, I'm speaking for you. I hope you're okay with that, Jennifer.
No,
we didn't, like, wake up one day and say, I'm going to be this fantastic blogger, and that we're not saying we are anyway. We're just, you know, we didn't set out for this. It just sort of happened, and we followed along, and when there was a need or someone had questions, we answered them, and it turns out that other people had those same questions, so then they started coming to our blogs for those answers. So, yeah, and I think above all, we were just doing our thing, like just doing what we thought was best, what was fun, what was creative for us, and so I would suggest that you do the same. If you want to do something in a creative field, keep doing it, even if your 9-to-5 job is something completely uncreative. When you get home, do something creative, and, you know, keep honing those skills and have fun with it, and eventually you will be able to take that leap from that 9-to-5 job to a more creative career. So,
if it's meant to be. I think it all comes down to if you're in the right place at the right time and you're just sharing and being yourself. If I think about the people who have a crafting job or blog, none of them set out and said, I'm going to turn this into a career. It all just kind of happened because they were doing their thing and people liked it. I don't think it's necessary to do videos. I mean, Tim Holtz, he has an incredible blog, and he doesn't do videos all the time. So I don't think that you necessarily have to do videos. He has his own thing going, and it works for him. So I think you just need to find your thing, make sure it's yours, not that, you know, just following somebody else's mold. And if it's meant to be, it'll happen. I mean, I had a job as an engineer, and this was a hobby that just turned into more. But I think the less you work at making it a job, and the more you work at enjoying it, the more successful you'll be.
Absolutely. I think I've only known one person or seen one person who was like, I want to reach this level of success, and they said it out loud, and then they did. I went to a blogging conference years ago, and I remember I sort of laughed at this girl. Like, sadly, I'm embarrassed I said I kind of laughed inside, but she actually said, she's like, I want to meet Martha Stewart one day. I want to be so well known with craftiness and stuff. She wasn't a card maker, but she did like DIY crafts. She said, I want to meet Martha Stewart. Next thing you know, it was like 2 years later, I see her on the Rachel Ray Show. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's that girl. And then, like, probably 6 months after that, there she is on Martha Stewart. I'm like, what the? So she totally put that out there into the world, you know? And I don't think she was really, like, she didn't do it in an arrogant way. Like, we were just kind of sitting in a classroom setting, and everyone said, you know, they said, stand up, tell us your name, and tell us your goal for what you would like to do with your blog. And she stood up and said, hey, my name is so-and-so. I want to be the next Martha Stewart. And she just said it, just like that. And it wasn't, you know, sometimes people say things like that, and you're like, I don't know about that, you know, and it's a little off-putting, but she was really cute about it. And so when I saw her that she, like, got to meet Martha Stewart and she was on Rachel Ray, I was super happy for her. I think that's amazing and fantastic. So, you know, to Jennifer's point, like, you don't have to say, this is what I want to do, but I think if you put it out there in the universe, there's nothing wrong with that. but just don't like do it in a really arrogant way and like make yourself sound more than you are, if that makes sense.
And I think that's a very unique situation.
For sure.
I think you also have to, you can want something really bad, but you got to also have like the talent, the natural talent there to make it happen. Like I would love to be an NBA star and make gazillions of dollars throwing a ball in a basket, but it's not going to happen. So I think it's got to be natural in some way. And so that gal, she probably had some natural talent. She probably had charisma. She wants her name big. If that's a desire for you, that's great. I guess it just depends on what you want along with what you can do, and just do it. I don't know. I'm not a goal setter. My only goal is to get my kids to 18 and have them be good human beings. As far as crafting, I don't really have a goal. My goal is to share as much as I can. I guess that's my goal. So I guess it depends on, everybody's different, but I think in most cases you just got to do your thing. And if you're a good person and you work hard, success usually follows. I don't know.
And be nice. Be kind and nice to everyone.
In fact, I have this sign back here that says, if you work hard and you're kind, good things will happen. My favorite quote, my family lives by it, and I think that's what it takes.
That probably sums up this entire little end to our conversation. If you be yourself, be kind to others, good things will happen, whether it's this career in the crafting industry or not. I mean, maybe it leads you to something else completely different, but it's what's meant to happen. It's what is meant for you, and success is measured in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be views on a video or readers on a blog. At the end of the day, if you have done your best and you're happy with what you've done, I call that success. So.
I would agree. And the more you can help each other out, the better. I mean, Christina and I have basically the same career, but we help each other. She might help me more than I help her, but I try. I try to help her. But, you know, the more you work together, it's going to be better for everybody in the end. So I'm a big promoter of new artists and stuff like that because there's so much good stuff to share, and there's plenty of room for everybody. So.
Absolutely. Cool. All right. So that was our last question. So we're pretty much done for now. I think if we, on our next Q&A video, we'll have it on Jennifer's YouTube channel. So watch for that. And for my viewers, I'll be sure to link you over there so you can see it. But until our next video, we're going to sign off. So want to say goodbye, Jennifer?
Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, and sorry about the cutting out. And I'll see you soon, Christina.
Yes, absolutely. And Merry Christmas, you guys. I will be back soon with another card video. Thanks for watching.